Hi guys, this is Andy, the Expedition Hiker, and this is Barney. So today I'm going to talk about how to repair a tent. On my last wild camp, I stayed up at Bleaklow and I parked my tent up at night time, so it was dark, and found out I was actually a bit closer than I thought to the rock. In the morning, I've got a big hole in my tent where I can put my finger in. Today we're going to repair that, so stay tuned. Welcome back guys. So the items I have in front of me are what we need to make a good repair on our tent. Now this could be used for tents, waterproofs or any outdoor equipment. The items I've got is obviously my tent, which I'm going to repair in a moment. I've got a board. I need to keep it quite taut, the area, so there's no like creases when I try to stick it down. So I use a board and I use these clamps to clamp the tent to the board, so I get a nice smooth area to work with. I've got a pair of scissors. So the main ingredients is I use gear aid. So I've got tenacious tape and I've got seal grip. Combination of the two will get a great finish. Okay, with that saying, let's get into it. Well, first of all, put my garment or my tent on top of the board, and then we're going to try and make it quite taut. This is like the most fiddliest part of the whole procedure. What I'm going to do is put a clamp on each of the corners and try and keep this as taut as possible. So I'm going to speed this a little bit up because I'm sure you don't want to see me fannying around with this. So I've attached the tent fly sheet to the board. Now the reason why I use a hard board is that the edges aren't too sharp. What I don't want to do is make any further holes in the fly sheet while I'm trying to repair this one. A board, a piece of timber, something with soft edges is a lot better than maybe metal and sharper edges, because you don't want to make any further holes than you need to. So the next step, so I want to check that the area I'm working on, I can pull it all together, so which I will be able to do like that. What I'm aiming to do is I'm going to make two repairs. So I'm going to repair this bit there and then this piece here, and I think there's a smaller one here. So I'll make 3 repair points. So the next thing what I do is I get some tenacious tape. I've put a piece off already. What it needs to be is about 1 inch bigger either side of the hole. So I'm going to look into about there. What I'm going to do is use the scissors and I'm going to cut the size I need. Now, the best way with tenacious tape is to round it off, because if you have edges, there's more chances that it's going to peel away. So for any slight vibrations, although I've got an override rig, it's probably not the best one. Slim that down a little bit more. Now I've been using this a few years. When I take my students out, they don't look after tents like you and I may do. So there's numerous times I'm going to having to repair the tents that they use. So are we getting there? I think we're getting close. So what you should do is, before you actually apply the tape, is to clean the area. Now I've cleaned it previously. I've used an alcoholic swab on it to clean the area off, so that this will grip to it better, and also there's not going to be any grit or dirt that it's going to stick to. Because the worst thing is you don't want any creases or air bubbles or anything else when you apply this, because there's more chance of the water being able to seep through when it rains. So I've trimmed my patch, and here we go. That patch is going to repair this hole. So the first thing you need to do is peel it off. Okay, so you start to peel it back. So the key thing is, when you put it down, you want to try and get it as flat as possible, and you want to rub out any air bubbles. So I'm going to try and start from the center and push it all out. Pulling any creases away. Pushing any air bubbles away from it as well. I want to get a good connection with the canvas. Now, repair like this is quite an extreme repair. Usually we have smaller holes. But with the seal grip on the opposite side, between the two, it should give you 100% seal. The only thing you've got to watch out is that it don't start pulling away. Because this is on the seam, it makes it a little bit more difficult. Okay, so there's my thing stuck down. Okay, so at the moment, I want to do is repair the other one. So I've got another one there and a smaller one here. So that's one repaired. What I'm going to do is repair these two, and then we'll go through, use the seal grip. So there you go, that's a really major repair. In fact, actually it's probably one of the biggest repairs I've ever done before. I've had to make a couple of batches. Try not them each one to overlap another one, although sometimes that has to happen. But what I need to do now, we're going to turn the fly sheets over and then we'll use the seam grip. So I've turned it over, you can see where the gaps are still. So what I'm going to do is going to use seam grip on these patches, and then actually that will secure it. Now seam grip, once you put the fly sheet down, it needs to stay in the same place for about 24 hours for it to cure and perfectly dry. The seam grip comes with its applicator, which you just screw it on. It's got a little brush on the end, and you don't want to squeeze too much out. You don't want gunges of it, but you just want enough that's going to cover the area. There's also a little brush afterwards. Once you've got it out, you just stroke it down and actually make a nice smooth finish. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to push it out, go through the thing, and then we're just going to stroke it on. Not push it out too hard. I don't want too much coming out. I want to go over all the gaps, and if there's any gaps I've missed, I'm going to do those as well. You can use one appliance over another, but this is, as I say, this is a big rip, so I wanted to repair it properly. Okay, so that's enough that we need on there. I use the brush now, and I'm just going to stroke it in. When this dries, it will be 100% waterproof. Again, try and rub the edges, so keep them nice and smooth. So there you go guys, that's how you repair your tent. This is a major repair, big holes and gaps here, so using the tenacious tape and seam grip all fixed properly, you may be able to just go away with just some tenacious tape on the outside of your fly. Now, like I mentioned before, you can use it on all sorts of equipment. So it's not just limited to using it on your tent, you can use it on your outdoor gear. So waterproof jacket, waterproof trousers, gaiters, your sleeping bag, synthetic or down jackets, and also your insulation mat. So guys, that's just about it. I've done a major repair here, so that's why I've used the tenacious tape and the seam grip. Now there are several companies that make both these products. I just use Gear Aid. I've used them in the past. I've never had any problems. Tenacious tape is obviously a really strong tape. It's stronger than duct tape. It gives a long-lasting seal. It's quite expensive what it is. It's about 50 centimetres long, about 8 centimetres wide. It costs about £8 in the UK. Same for the seam grip. The seam grip, it's about the same sort of price, but a tube like this will last you a lot longer. I think that's only the second tube I've used over the years. Now I do a lot of repairs using these. 2 products. Like I mentioned before, my students don't look after their equipment as well as you and I would do, and sometimes they do rip things quite easily, so I'm having to do quite a lot of repairs. Hopefully this has been a good informational video for you. You should actually wear a protective glove when you're using the seam grip because it is very sticky stuff. I also, as soon as I finish it, I wash the applicator and the bush through with hot soapy water, so it's usable again. So with that said, hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Hopefully you've got something out of it. And if you want to see some more videos like this and you haven't subscribed, then please do. Especially if you like hiking, backpacking, long distance walking, wild camping, like to learn some tips and skills on the great outdoors, and download some routes for yourself, then please consider subscribing. Like would be great, and a comment. And if you want to know about any other sort of gear and anything that I might be able to help you with, then feel free to leave a comment. So with that saying, look after yourselves. I'll see you soon. Be safe, and bye hikers.